I found that I really like painting these little figures at the moment. And I have 3 ready to get painted. And then I have a spot here that is empty. But I'm going to show you how I draw them and paint them, because I really like making these. And the first one I made is this little guy for my kids, because they sometimes have too small clothes or clothes with holes in them. He's wearing a way too small t-shirt and 2 small pants and 2 small socks with holes for the big toes. And I think he's really funny. But that's the first one I made. I start by drawing a squiggly line for the backbone. Anatomy dictates that the hips go that way and the shoulders go the other, or else it would look really weird and all kinds of wrong. I'm now going to draw arms and legs as if I was making a stick figure. They will be fleshed out later. This is my first voiceover, so please bear with me. Now, just the head shape and the dress need some minor details, like an actual face and a dress. And of course, I do erase all of the unnecessary lines on the actual watercolor paper. The coloring begins with the dress, which will be colored phthalo blue, which is a very staining color. This just means that it can't be lifted off the page all the way back to white. It will always be somewhat blue after applying it. I am making sure it's about equally wet all over. And while it's still very wet, I'm going to add some salt to get a flowery, starry texture. Now it has to dry until it's completely dry before removing the salt. One of the nice things about watercolor is that even though it has dried on my palette, it's easy to re-wet so that I can easily use it again. I'm adding a little bit more phthalo blue to add a bit more volume to the skirt and some more figure to the lady in the form of shadows. comes next. This is a blended color that I get from adding yellow ochre, brilliant red and ultramarine together. Although not in equal parts, mind you. I add a bit more brilliant red to her cheeks for color, before adding shadows to her arms and face to make it a little bit more 3D. By going over it with a damp brush, I do smudge it out somewhat. Because the shawl is going to be see-through, I add a very watered down version of the skin color to her elbow area. This is not going to be very clear when I paint over it though, but it will give a little bit of texture. I did a little cutout from some post-it notes to help me mask off the colored areas while starring up the dress with some titanium white watercolors by flicking it on using my brush and my finger. Also, I'm dotting on a little bit of titanium white here, just with a fine pencil. For the shoes, I add a little bit of viridian hue to the phthalo blue of her dress to get a turquoisey color. I use the same color for the shawl, although it's watered down a bit. My camera sadly ran out of power here and I had to wait a while for it to charge up again. Layering up the color gives the painting a little more of a draped fabric look and makes some folds where the fabric is shadowed and doubled over. Here I'm giving her hair and eyes a base color, which is also the lightest of the natural colors in these places. From here, I'm just adding small details here and there, like darkening part of the eyes, and adding actual hair. Adding white lines all over helps to accentuate the highlights. The white paint does not seem like it's adding a whole lot while it's wet, but when it dries, it will stand out a lot more. Outlining her in some spots will make her stand out from the paper. Sadly, I was not paying enough attention, so her eyes became a little lopsided. I like outlining the figures with a pencil so that I have a line to cut after. This is approximately 2 millimeters from the painting. Here I'm just adding the last little details before cutting her out. Keeping this straight while cutting was actually really awkward. I had to turn my hand and arm every which way, making sure that you guys would not get seasick because of me turning the plate around so much. In all of her glory. I like her very much, although I am a little sad about the eyes. As you can see, they are a little lopsided, unfortunately. And I think I have to make a dress like this, although I do not have the fabric right now. But if you guys know of anywhere that I can get this silky, glittery fabric, and I think I need a little stretch in it too. But if you guys know of anywhere that I can get it, please let me know in the comments down below. that's it for me this week. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll get notified each time I upload a new video, which I try to do every week. Bye!